Kitchens, hospitality don't care where you come from, what your background is. It's about who you are and how hard you can work. I never saw it as a negative. That 16 to 18 hours I was learning every day. Traditionally, that normally meant having a restaurant or a cafe. These things are phenomenally expensive, and anyone who's doing it, I have my full respect.
Welcome back to our podcast, Kitchen Tales. So our podcast talks about everything kitchen related. We talk about businesses, we talk about our personal journeys, and we invite our friends, family, and some guests that are local to us that talk about everything food. I am really tired this week, Rhona. How have you been?
Oh, I'm okay, actually. I'm a lot better, actually, this week compared to the last episode. I'm just having a really good week. I've just got some lovely clients. I'm working with some lovely clients at the moment. I've been putting a proposal together with an event that's going on in a few weeks' time. And I had a lovely lunch yesterday with one of my oldest clients that she has lunches most months. And she just had a nice group of friends, and it was a lovely lunch, and just everyone very happy at the end of it. So, yeah, it was lovely.
That's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, my hay fever has been killing me. I probably sound a little nasally.
Oh, that's why then.
Yes, so that's why. It's been hay fever related. I don't know why my hay fever is lasting pretty much all of summer. Because usually mine starts around sort of like February, March time. But this year started like end of May, starting of June time. And it's made me so exhausted. So
that's why.
Any remedies that you know? I mean, I've tried everything. People talk about honey, but apparently I should have started taking it last year. Local honey.
No, I know.
I've tried every single type of antihistamine, everything.
I don't suffer from hay fever. My husband and my daughter do, but they'll go to the Piriton, which is probably not the
I think I've exhausted that now.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope you have it.
Hope you feel better.
Thank you. I'm hoping so. So if you guys hear me or see me looking a little bit strange, it is because of my hay fever, and it's making me a little bit miserable, more than it probably should. But yeah, I'm also excited because I've got a few events that are coming up.
Good.
That are pretty exciting. I've got a big wedding that I'm catering for 80 people. That's probably the biggest that I think I'll go now. I think when I first started the business, I was just taking on some smaller weddings, really big weddings, but I think I've now found where my key strengths are. It's an exciting one because it's my type of food that I like.
Oh, wonderful. Is it grazing or is it right?
So it's grazing. So we bring all the food to the table. They've got a few salads, so quite my favorite salads. They've got a few meats, and it's a really relaxed couple as well. I always say, like, you choose the client as much as the client chooses you, and I think that's something that I've learned from running the business for a few years now. And I think they're a wonderful couple, and I look forward to cooking for them.
Are you making the cake?
Yes, I am. Yes. So I've been making loads of cakes. No kitchen fails.
Good, good.
So quite a few cakes. And again, it's actually my first very interesting cake. So they're actually wanting, a Jamaican rum cake. So you actually cook it in a bundt. So rather than having like a stacked 3-layer cake, they want the bundt cake just as it is. Won't have much decoration or anything. They just want us to put them one on top of the other.
Wonderful.
And I think it's really cool because it's something that's different. I've never done that before, and quite exciting.
Looking forward to seeing the photo of that one.
Yes, I will be sending pictures. And if anyone's following us, you can probably see the pictures on our Instagram.
Great.
Yeah, so today we have another guest.
Yes, I'm loving all these guests.
I know, and I think a lot of the followers and people that are watching us are also enjoying having the guests, especially people that are local to us. So I think from the beginning, we talked about collaborating and working with other people. And it's just great having people that are local to us come and talk about their journeys in the kitchen, outside the kitchen, and all things in between. Yeah, and today we've got my friend. He's actually my longest foodie friend, I would say, because I met Nick through food. And we've got Nick Hope with us today. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm well, thank you for having me on.
Yes, thank you for getting outside the kitchen and coming to join us today.
It's really nice to meet you, Nick, actually. I've heard so much about you. Well, good things, obviously. Yeah. Lots of good things, but we've never actually met.
No, we were just saying this, and it's strange, but it's a perfect opportunity.
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into the food industry, a little bit about your business as well.
Yeah, so I've started, I always wanted to be a chef. I think probably the earliest memory was 14. Both my parents are teachers, so very nurturing and encouraging. So as soon as I mentioned this, we were in the kitchen. My mum was showing me bits that she wanted to try me to learn to cook. I went to catering college, and then I'm not sure when, but I heard about kind of Michelin-starred restaurants. I was very ambitious, loads of energy, and if I was going to do it, I wanted to do it to the best of my ability, which I did. And then in 2019, I started my own business. Importantly, early 2019.
Yes, yes.
I think that's when we met.
We met. Yeah. And, from there, you build up a client list. You find, I think you just said it there, you find clients, they find you, and you just keep on cooking good food, and you build it day by day, week by week, and then you create your own business when maybe it wasn't possible. But today, with social media, word of mouth, and a little bit of advertisement, you can take it wherever you like.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's a lot about word of mouth, I have to say. I think, when I started my business, I advertised and advertised and advertised. It got me nowhere.
Yeah.
But it was once you get that first client, it gets talked about, and you just go from there. Would you say the same?
Yeah, 95% of my emails will start with, my friend recommended you, I was at one of your dinner parties. And that's where the majority of what it comes from. A little bit comes through the social media and noted the advertisement. But I would say, if you cook, I say when you cook for 12 people or 20 people, there's 20 people to impress. They will go and tell another 5, 10 people. And at some point, hopefully you get that call or that inquiry, and then you start again.
Amazing. Yeah, I want to know a little bit more about your early start before you started your business. So you talked that you were a chef. I mean, I've never been a chef, and I think both Rhona and I come from slightly similar backgrounds in that we are sort of home cooks.
Yeah, and
We
self-taught,
didn't
really.
Self-taught, yeah. I'm always so amazed because I think I've said this to you before. I would have loved to just do even just like a few shifts in a restaurant and just actually see what the behind the scenes was like. So you mentioned working and doing sort of like Michelin. Did you ever work for like a Michelin-starred place or?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I think restaurants have probably changed a lot, and I would say that I've not been in a professional kitchen or a commercial kitchen now since probably 2019, 2018. But starting out, it's phenomenally hard work. But we want to do that. Yeah. You're young, you're ambitious, you want to prove yourself. So kitchens are a wonderful place. Kitchens, hospitality, don't care where you come from, what your background is. It's about who you are and how hard you can work. So it's a really great place. It's creative. You can learn phenomenally quickly. And its ability to meet different people from different backgrounds, but you're all there to achieve one goal, and that's to cook beautiful food. So my background, really, catering college, which is really good. So effectively, I am a professional chef. I've got qualifications.
Love it.
Mum and
You should have
dad.
brought your certificate.
Mum and dad very proud. But from there, but you're kind of, I guess, really, your education really begins in working in a good restaurant, working for good chefs that will take you under their wing and teach you. You learn about produce. You've got to start with great produce. I always say buy the very best you can afford, and that's the building blocks. If it's humble vegetables to amazing shellfish to wonderful meats, that's where it starts. And then with kitchens, there's this kind of scale where you start from the very bottom. So I think I was 16, and my mum and dad, maybe even 50, my mum and dad would drop me off at this local Italian restaurant. This wonderful chef who'd worked at I think it was the Ritz. He would have worked at the Dorchester in London, originally from Naples, and I'd wash up all the dishes. He would cook star food before the meals, through wonderful pastas. I would run and get all the steaks from upstairs in the walk-in fridge. I would skin the Dover soles. I think I fell in love with it straight away. And then from there, you find a good restaurant. So part of my college course. I went to Basingstoke at Beacott, and they found me a placement at the Vineyard, actually in Newbury.
Nice.
And that was at the time a 1-star Michelin restaurant, but a very progressive restaurant. Incredible chef, incredible produce, amazing kitchen, and it was an eye-opener to what could be done and what I could hopefully go on to achieve. I always look for restaurants that have a great chef rather than a great reputation. Follow the chef rather than the status, and you find your way really, and then you kind of work your way up, and you can travel anywhere.
Yes, yeah.
Go to anywhere you like.
You're going across the country a bit more, is that right? You'll take your fine dining. Would you say you're more fine dining, or would you?
How would you describe?
Yes.
Yes, I think it is fine dining. I'm very relaxed. I'd say I'm very relaxed for everyone who knows me, but very professional.
Yes.
I think it is fine dining as most people would see it. So from Newbury, I travel around 90 minutes, hour and a half to 2 hours maximum. Some clients I push that to a little bit further, but that can take me into London, that can take me down to Sandbanks, to Gloucestershire. I've been abroad for some clients as well, where I cater for them. It's just opportunity. It's opportunity, different experiences. I love beautiful old houses. I love new modern houses, and the opportunity to go to these places is incredible. And the clients,
Yes.
the clients make it. To cook for people. We all know this is you're cooking for friends. Sometimes you're cooking for. You're part of those special occasions, from small weddings to anniversaries to birthday parties. I think that's the thing that makes you want to do it again and again and again.
Yes. Have you ever been put off by the long hours, especially in your early years? Because I know, especially restaurant work, one of the things that I always hear, okay, you have to be willing to be working minimum 12-hour shifts as a minimum. Is that true? Because when I think about it, when I was like the age that you're saying, there is no way I would have wanted to wake up and be going to work in restaurants. I guess I didn't have the passion when I was that age. But has that ever put you off, the long hours?
Never, no. I would have been happy with 12 hours if I was honest. 18 hours, 16 hours. But it's almost my addiction. It's that.
You get an adrenaline, I suppose.
You do, yes. You do. When I moved to London when I was 18 to work, and there was a couple of options. One was restaurant Gordon Ramsay within the Claridge's restaurant, and another was a more upcoming restaurant called Chapter 2 in Blackheath. And I ended up taking the job at Chapter 2. Dungeon kitchen, no sunlight, but didn't know anyone, didn't know that part of London by any means. But it felt safe going to work for 16 to 18 hours with a small group, all with one goal, lunch and dinner, incredibly high standards. And that's all I needed to do. And in a way, I was doing exactly what I wanted. And I got to do it for 16 to 18 hours a day. So I never saw it as a negative. That was 16 to 18 hours I was learning every day. I wish I could do that now. I wish I had that determination now. Because where would I be?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then it went into setting up your own business.
Yes. So I always wanted to have my own business, my own clients. Traditionally, that normally meant having a restaurant or a cafe. I think we all know these things are phenomenally expensive, and anyone who's doing it, they have my full respect. I think when I started, a private chef wasn't as mainstream as it is now, something that we know of. I don't do big catering. I wouldn't do 80 people. That isn't my thing. It's small to medium. I love the personal side of it, the relationship building. So when I started, I didn't know if I could actually make it work. But as a chef, there's always jobs. So if it didn't work, I was pretty employable. Probably the most employable person I knew.
At that time, Even now as well, I think chefs are always in high demand.
Yes. Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would there be something that you do differently when you started your business, that if, say, somebody who's listening wants to start up their own business, maybe they've come through like a different, similar journey to how you have, they've been working in restaurants, they've got all these amazing skills. I guess, I never really like this question, what advice would you give? But I guess that's what I'm asking. Is there anything that you would do differently, that you would be able to tell somebody, like, actually go about it this way to be able to set up your own business?
Yeah, I mean, you get asked this question, lots of people say, I love to do what you're doing, or I love to have my own business, be self-employed. I tell people, don't jump off, don't jump into something, walk down the hill. If you've got a job, that's a well-paying job that provides for you and your family, how can you start a business part-time, do those extra hours, build it up until you get that confidence? So when I started my business, I'd kind of handed in my notice as a head chef of a restaurant in Oxford. I had to give 3 months notice, which was fantastic. I then kind of negotiated that I went down to 2 to 3 days a week, and from there, and I started to build up the blocks for when the business that would offer me a salary that would offer, kind of keep me safe and provide for what I needed. So start. You've got to start. Be brave, but be careful, and that's how I think you start. First year, survive.
Yeah.
Second year, consolidate what you've got. Start building, and keep on being brave.
Amazing. That's really great advice. Yeah, that's great advice. Yes. And I think that's with a lot of things in life as well. Not just jumping. Don't do what I did, guys. Because I think I've mentioned how I started. To be fair, actually, I was still working my full-time job for 6 months, and then I made that decision. So yeah, I didn't actually go full crazy, but I think just having those foundations, and I guess learning from others as well, because we've worked together, Nick, and especially in the very beginning, where I felt like I learnt a lot of even certain things that I'm doing now through you. I mentioned on one of our episodes how I learnt organization when you're going to an event. So I think learning from others as well probably helps, and just seeing how others are doing it, you can learn some of the things for business through that.
Yeah. I would say you were incredible. I remember chatting with you and I'm thinking that was really interesting. Something might happen from that. And then what you achieved so quickly with, so much energy, so much passion is incredible. Not everything will work, but one of these things will boom, and it keeps on going, and it's a different thing you learn. It makes you stronger, makes you better. And I think anyone who knows you would know that that the Colline show.
You didn't sleep.
I was young. I would not do that again because I was too young. And there's something actually when you're starting something when you're young, having that energy. Yeah. I mean, now I've got 2 kids. I had 1 son.
Yes.
We were still quite young, but I think I just still had that.
Yeah, you had the buzz.
For life.
Yes,
I had the buzz.
Yes.
But now if you tell me to do that, I'm like, no, I need my sleep. I need my sleep. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Nick, for joining us.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. So before we end the podcast, we're always asking all our guests what they're having for dinner. So this is just part of giving some people some inspiration what to have for dinner, make each other jealous. Yes. And also think about things that we could make for our dinner. What are you having for dinner tonight?
So I'm all about wonderful vegetables, wonderful meats, fishes. So tonight, super simple, super delicious, English duck breast. And I grow a lot of my own produce. I grow all my vegetables in my garden. My garden backs out to the allotment, and we're into summer or late spring as well. So I've got all these vegetables. So I'm just going to do some roasted vegetables with the duck breast salad, cold pressed rapeseed oil. Super simple, delicious.
Oh, that's lovely. That sounds good.
Yeah, and if people want to be able to book you for any events or anything like that, where can they find you and how can they find Nick Hope? So
I've got a website like all of us, which is really important, and that is foodbyhope.com, obviously. Yeah. And then social media, I'm Food by Hope as well. Beautiful dinner parties is the majority of what I do. Wonderful canapes, food I deliver to clients as well. It's like all of us. There's so much opportunity out there. There's always a special occasion for somebody, and great food brings us all together.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And Rhona, what are you having for dinner?
So I've got the children back today, so they want something. They're quite they can be quite fussy.
Yeah.
So we're having risotto tonight. We are having a prawn risotto, prawn risotto.
Nice.
What are you having tonight?
We're having something simple because of the kids as well, and we're just having good old spaghetti bolognese. And I have to try and hide the vegetables for my eldest because he doesn't like seeing the vegetables. And have some veg on the side for my youngest, and maybe a little salad. But good old spag bol tonight.
Good.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you everybody for listening, and hope to see you on the next podcast.